hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain, bringing you guys another discussion. And I know the last couple of days I've kind of been doing a lot of spoiler heavy content and whatnot, and I gotta say that anime only, this is a video where it's safe for you guys to actually sit through the video. Even though this is something that is related to the manga, it's also related to the anime. So just like always, anytime I get one of these discussions where it's kind of 50-50 manga and anime, I'm either going to tell you later in the video whether or not I got a major spoiler, which I don't, or I'll just keep it more so on the balance side to where you're not getting any major spoilers that are going to ruin the anime for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this major bombshell that we've kind of stumbled across. So when a lot of people think about the Mitsuki desertion arc, a lot of people like to dub that the Mitsuki depression arc because a lot of people did not enjoy that arc. I personally did like the arc because I thought that the conversations about what is a soul, what is human life, concepts like that, I thought it was pretty interesting. And in that arc, one of the things we find out is that Onoki, somebody who is as old school as it comes, all of a sudden Onoki's been dabbling in technology, trying to build soldiers, he's been trying to create life. Onoki's been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and when you get to the Kage, she even looks at Onoki and she says like, look, this is the thing that you got to look at, okay? Like, you doing this can be seen as an act of war. You're directly violating the treaty that we have with the 5 great nations right now. Like, Kurosuke shut down a lot of that stuff, and yet at the same time, at the time when people were talking about that arc, we said, okay, like Onoki is like a little sideways, but there were some of us who wonder what even possessed Onoki to turn to technology. Like, if he lost his grandson and he was that torn up about it, why not train the new generation? Why not take a more active role in getting them more so up to par? And I know the anime gave us some answers to it, but lurking in the shadows of all of that, we had a scientist that was in that arc. Now, the reason why that is so huge is when you look at the Boruto manga, as we all know, scientific ninja tools play a huge part. Science itself plays a huge role in the events of what's going on in the story. It's not necessarily on the level of something like Dr. Stone that's very heavy on science and his very big brain. It's not necessarily something like that, but there is a clear correlation there. And the reason why I think that this is important for us to even look at what Ukyo Kodachi said in his author comments for Boruto, I believe Boruto volume 11 if I'm not mistaken. But the reason why that's important is people forget that the Boruto anime and manga, even though the stories are a little different at times, the anime runs on a parallel track to the manga. There is no filler when it comes to Boruto anime. They're parallel stories that line up with the manga at a certain point. Even though you have different characters that have not popped up, this is straight from Ikimoto and Kodachi themselves, that the story is a parallel story. So when you look at that arc, you see the framework where even Orochimaru's looking at all this stuff, and Orochimaru's saying like, who is it that could have made technology to this extent? Who is it that would be so interested in what it is that I've been doing? And we know that Kara, for lack of better words, without spoiling anything, Kara was behind the scenes when it comes to some of the stuff that happened before the versus Momoshiki arc. I think it's very important that fans that watch the anime kind of go back and look at a couple of those episodes where Boruto was in the black market meeting with Katasuke, and Boruto, after Katasuke leaves him and everything, you have moments where Katasuke is interacting with a certain somebody. So I think that that's important because it's showing you that like they've been building up very slowly towards this Kara actuation arc that you have in the Boruto anime that's going on. So with Ukyo Kodachi's statements in the Boruto manga volume, he says that Kara, for the most part, this scientific ninja weapons tool revolution, Kara has been behind all of this. Kara's been kind of dabbling and getting this stuff kind of sprinkled throughout the different lands, and that brings you back to Onoki. We know for a fact, and I've talked about this in other videos, we know for a fact that Kara has people that are part of the outer members who are in very influential positions in other nations. One of the things I theorized when we got that information from Kodachi was, well, if they have people on the staff of the feudal lord of the land of fire, what's to stop there? Because we know that Kara has different quadrants. What if the quadrants that they have are just code names for the 5 great nations? And when you look at Onoki's scientists went missing at the end of that arc. And we know for a fact that Kara has been testing scientific ninja weapons tools, and after their tests are completed, they make off with the data. So that's going to be very interesting if that's the route that they go, because that's going to be a really good way to kind of link things back up between the Mitsuki desertion arc and what you get with the Kara actuation arc. Or if you want to take things a step further and say maybe the manga explores this later on, given the fact that the author for the manga is directly talking about these story points. He's been doing a lot of talking ever since Jump Fiesta, and it really leads me to believe that 2020 for Boruto is going to be a really huge year, because he is doing a lot of talking right now. He's doing a lot of talking. He's giving a lot of information that is really and truly world building information. So I definitely think this is something we got to consider. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Does this change your perception of the Mitsuki desertion arc? Does this change your perception of the different synthetic humans that Boruto and Team Moegi were fighting against? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. As always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.